দেহ হে আমারে বসেছি সঙ্গের আশে। বসেছি সঙ্গের আশে, বসেছি সঙ্গের আশে। एकाकी अमर नाही पाया बल, हरि नाम संकीर्तन। एकाकी अमर नाही पाया बल, एकाकी अमर नाही पाया बल, हरि नाम संकीर्तन। एकाकी अमर नाही पाया बल, हरि नाम संकीर्तन। तुम्हें कृपा कोरे श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया, देहो कृष्ण नाम धाम। तुम्हें कृपा कोरे श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया, से तुम्हारा नदी पे पारो, तुम्हारा सत्या। कृष्णा से तुम्हारा कृष्ण जी पे पारो, तुम्हारा सत्या। Everybody with full concentration, with the mood of a beggar. Krishna se tumhara, Krishna ji se paaro, tumhara shaktiya hai. तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले, भाई कब पाछे पाछे। आमी तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले, भाई कब पाछे पाछे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्री मायापुर की जय। His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. उपस्थित भक्त वृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगावरायते। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनि इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। हरिः ओम तत्सत्। Hare Krishna. So we are here to discuss the glories of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur Prabhupada. I'm actually very nervous today, especially speaking about spiritual subject matter in the Dham. I remember I was on a Vrindavan Parikrama, and I was explaining to the person who was next to me how to deal with lusty desires. And I was giving nice fundas. I think Krishna didn't like it. He immediately sent one of his representatives in the form of a monkey, and he stopped my so-called great discussion by snatching my spectacles. When I was chanting inattentively before initiation, one of the monkeys came and took my jakmala also. So those who preach in the dham, but they themselves don't follow, they are taught nice lessons. So I'm very nervous right now. I'm going to speak like an acharya, as if after Bhaktivinod Thakur I am the next acharya. I'm feeling very disgusted, and I'm feeling very humbled at the same time. I was just looking, I've been given the seva of glorifying the various acharyas. Today Bhaktivinod Thakur, tomorrow Bhaktivinod Thakur part 1, but tomorrow morning Bhaktivinod Thakur part 2. And then later on I've been asked to glorify Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj also, and little Chaitanya Leela. So as I'm reading about these acharyas, I'm forced to understand that I'm absolutely, completely, extraordinarily fallen to discuss about them. And my feeling became even more stronger when I, just before coming, I was sitting with Harikshat Prabhu, and we found a website where it was given who's who from Gaur Ganodesh Deepika. And we saw these acharyas, who are they in Krishna Leela? And how many of them have come actually to deliver us, save us? And I'm a person struggling with lust, anger, greed, illusion, enviousness and attachments, and I'm going to glorify them. In the Valmiki Ramayana, it is mentioned that Ravana, when he came, as soon as a few of his sons were killed in the battlefield, he immediately demanded that bring Ram in front of me, I want to end the battle today only. So at that time, I think it was Sugriva who came and said that, who do you think you are? So I'm feeling in that position. It's not a philosophical session, of course. And I know all of you liked your history lessons very much. Lost and forgotten like the pages of Standard 6 of history. So if I just go on glorifying Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, you'll hear it, we'll all hear it, and like we all forget, we'll again forget everything. So what I've done is I've divided the entire discussion which I have to do in various subsections. And after each section, we will derive a learning lesson from it. That if the Acharya has exhibited this behavior, or if the Acharya has exhibited this quality, what can we derive? Or what can we practically apply in my life? That will keep the discussion very, I feel it will keep, as a teacher it will be easy for me to convey. Otherwise it is just a history lesson. So I have divided the discussion in the following subtopics. A true Acharya, sweeper of Lord Nityananda's Naam Hatta, Daitya Kulera Prahlad, Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno, exhibited Bhakti Shakti, acknowledged by contemporaries and loved by Jagannath, the seventh Goswami, Shadanga Sharanagati, Hoibe Jahar, Tar Prarthana Soibe, Sri Nanda Kumar, meeting with Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and the original compassionate preacher of ISKCON. So these are some of the subtopics. So whatever we can cover till today, we will cover, and then we'll continue tomorrow morning. I think very intelligently the organizers of this yatra have placed the Bhaktivinod Thakur's discussion today, because tomorrow we are visiting Godrma Dweep, which was the place where Bhaktivinod Thakur spent a lot of time. Surbi Kunj, we will go. Don't know if time permits to go to Swanand Sukhad Kunj. where the Gaur Gadadhar deities worshipped by Bhaktivinod Thakur is also there. If time permits, I don't know. So tomorrow when we go to Surbhi Kunj, tomorrow when we go to Godruma Dweep, we should really be spiritually awake, understanding the stature of this Acharya, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. So are we ready to start? Can we all start? Hare Krishna. So, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur is the original Acharya of ISKCON, the true Acharya. In the words of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada has said in his Bhagavatam purpose that Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur had a responsible government position as the district magistrate. That means High Court judge in normal language. And at the same time, he maintained a Krishna conscious family. He wrote almost 100 books on Krishna consciousness. At the same time, he served the Supreme Lord in so many ways, which we will discuss today. That is the beauty of his life. After a full day of government service, he would sleep for few hours, get up at the midnight and write until morning. That was his daily divine program. So that is one of the places where Srila Prabhupada has described him so nicely. In today's Dham Darshan, which was the best thing which you have seen till now? Whatever you saw in Siddham Mayapur, what was the world's biggest and nowhere else in the world thing which you have seen till now? Temple of Vedic Planetarium. It was Prabhupada's idea to bring the whole world or attract the whole world to Mayapur. Imagine if Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur would have not written the Navadip Dham Mahatmya, in which he described how Nityananda Prabhu predicted to Jiva Goswami that an amazing Adbhut temple will manifest here. We wouldn't have been building this temple only. Where did Srila Prabhupada get that? That a temple of Vedic planetarium has to manifest here. He got it from Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. So Srila Prabhupada as an Acharya is very great because of his quality of being greedy. He always is very greedy to see what the previous Acharyas wanted. And most of his projects are the desires of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, if you carefully examine, including the TOVP. And Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur was not just an ordinary preacher or not just an ordinary Acharya. He is very much comparable to Srila Jiva Goswami. Srila Jiva Goswami is not just a preacher, not just an Acharya, but a manager also, and he used to deal with the local politicians also. He got into a truce with Akbar so that the temples could be protected and everything, whatever was needed. He was a pioneer. So similarly, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, I see the same qualities in him. He was a philosopher, he was a theologian, he was dealing with the British government, he was dealing with common people. At the same time, he was dealing with professors of his time. He was the first person who sent the book called The Life and Precepts of Lord Chaitanya to various university libraries, even in the foreign countries. And that was the original seed of Krishna consciousness, which was planted everywhere all over the world. Srila Prabhupada always says that books are like bombs. So the first original teachings of Lord Chaitanya, which were planted in all the parts of the world, who did it? Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. And you know, it's not just a coincidence. The year in which he started sending this life and the precepts of Lord Chaitanya to various universities, libraries, politicians, leaders, all sections of people, that year was 1896. Can you tell me what special thing happened in 1896? Yes. He sent the books, and you see, he made a prediction while talking to his friends, or in written also, that a personality will soon appear and he will travel all over the world and spread the teachings of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He sent the books to the universities, he made the prediction, and then what happened? Srila Prabhupada took birth. So this is the glory of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. He has desired it. And when he desires like this, a ray of Vishnu comes. When he desires like this, the Senapati Bhakta comes. So everything which we see in the preaching movement or in the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya is very much the desire of Acharyas like Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Do you want to know some more predictions which he made? He said, this is his second prediction. Very soon the chanting of the Harinam Sankirtan will spread all over the world. Oh, when will that day come when people from America, England, France, Germany and Russia will take up kartals and mridangas and chant Hare Krishna in their respective towns and places. This was the desire of... He saw it, he envisioned it. Which were the 5 countries? America, England, France, Germany and Russia. This he has desired in 1896. I think from 1996 we are seeing all these countries, correct? Especially when was the Iron Curtain removed from Russia? Which 1991. Less than 100 years ho gaya, Prabhu. You know, everything is happening. So we give all the credit to the desire, original desire by Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. And then he confirmed this desire, you know, on various occasions. On another occasion, he has made another similar prediction. He said that when will that day come when the fair-skinned foreigners, earlier he told when they will chant Hare Krishna in their towns. Next prediction was when will that day come when the fair-skinned foreigners will come to Sri Mayapur Dham and join the Bengali Vaishnavas to chant Jai Sachinandana Gaura Hari. So you see, the prediction is very strong prediction. I made a very futile attempt to compile the list of the books which he has written. I could not even note down. Prabhupada says 100 books. I don't have the 100 names also. But some of the prominent books which Google Devta provided me was Sri Krishna Samhita, Kalyana Kalpataru, Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita. This is very nice. I refer Chaitanya Shikshamrita especially for the demons in Krishna Leela section. Very nice analogies and explanations Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives. Sri Navadip Dham Mahatmya. Today we heard a little bit and everything about Navadip is there. Jaiva Dharma. Don't know when I will understand it. It's a very technical book. Sri Harinam Chintamani, Bhajan Rahasya, Gita Mala, Gitavali, Sharanagati. He wrote many commentaries on Bhagavad Gita and he also wrote a commentary on Chaitanya Charanamrita. Not Chaitanya Charitamrita, but Chaitanya Charanamrita. And also there is another very famous book called Godrum Kalpatavi, which I think is available in Namhatta also, on which designed and derived from which is the whole Bhakti Vriksha model, which is functioning all over the world and helping ISKCON to progress and propagate the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. How many of you know something, there is something called as Bhakti Vriksha? That was envisioned in a book called Godrum Kalpatavi, and from that book only our leaders have derived the Bhakti Vriksha model. So the glory is endless. Just this is a small brief of the stature of the position of the Acharya which Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur is. In the book Godrum Kalpatavi, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur writes that he says Nityanand Prabhu is the owner of this Namhatta, Advaita Acharya is this, Swarup Damodar is this, blah blah blah. And then in the end he says, I am the cleaner or I am the sweeper of this Namhatta. Namhatta is a place where the holy name is being distributed. Rather it is being sold for a particular price. You know what is that price? Sorry? Shraddha. Shraddha is the mulya. What is the definition of Shraddha? The most standard definition of Shraddha is Shraddha Shabde Vishwasa Kare Suddhadha Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Kritahaya. One should have full conviction that simply by performing their Krishna consciousness seriously and sincerely, all their businesses or all their other engagements will achieve complete perfection. This is Shraddha. So anybody who has this Shraddha And with that Shraddha, if we approach Lord Nityananda, under the guidance of Bhaktivinod Thakur, because he says, I will take my commission. Dasturi Lebo, Purna ho gaye, Kam. It's a very nice bhajan. We should all read it. I think tomorrow when we are going to Surbhi Kunj, we will sing that bhajan also. I think His Grace Harikshit Prabhu will sing that. So he calls himself a sweeper there. For a long time I was thinking that why he has called himself a sweeper. What is the job of a sweeper? To clean something, the place. So in the Namhatta, there may be some people. Namhatta is meant for those people who have faith, who want to chant Hare Krishna, who want to dedicate their life for the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. But every now and then, a person who is not having faith, who is an atheist, or let's say who is a Mayavadi, or let's say who is an Apasampradaya person, or let's say the worst case, a Sahajya, may come in the Namhatta. Is it possible? Even in the realm of Krishna consciousness, even in this ISKCON temple, even in Mayapur campus, there may be some Sahajyas. So Bhaktivinod Thakur has taken these things are contaminations in the Namhatta. Because a Mayavadi really never wants to chant. A Sahajya is just showing off. So Bhaktivinod Thakur did so many activities in his life, and I could not help but correlate that yes, how he has cleaned the society. 1500, Lord Chaitanya started the Sankirtan movement, which was strictly based on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Just by the time it came, it was 1780, 1790. And that was the time where all these upper sampradayas are shooting up. Everything is fully destroyed. Nobody respects Gaudiya Vaishnavas. In fact, if somebody had to give a slang, if somebody had to criticize or somebody had to make fun of someone, put down someone, they would call him, hey, Gaudiya Vaishnava. Like that. And Lord Chaitanya was completely lost and forgotten. So at that point of time, Yad Yad Acharati Shreshthas Tattad Evataro Janaha, Bhaktivinod Thakur started a movement through his pen where he started convincing the elite minds of the society, the leaders of the society. If you see the kind of people whom Bhaktivinod Thakur was preaching, one of the people was Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Do you know who is Bankim Chandra Chatterjee? Who has wrote? Yes. So Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, he wrote a book in which he wrote a big thesis on Lord Krishna, which was absolutely bogus and nonsense. It is mentioned in the history about Bhaktivinod Thakur that when he read that, he felt so bad. He felt so bad that he arranged a meeting with Bankim Chandra. And for 4 days, he did not eat anything, he did not sleep, he did not drink even a sip of water. He just like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave a 7-day crash course to Lord Chaitanya and failed. But Bhaktivinod Thakur gave a 4-day crash course to Bankim Chandra and he succeeded. And Bankim Chandra Chatterjee tore off his book and he surrendered to Bhaktivinod Thakur. So therefore, when Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur wrote the commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee writes the preface of that it is so great that Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur is revealing the devotional texts for all of us to follow. So in that way, we don't even have the full list, the kind of people whom Bhaktivinod Thakur interacted with and preached to. So therefore, he is definitely the cleaner of the Namhatta. All the unwanted people who come in the Namhatta, he cleans them off. And we really owe this debt to Bhaktivinod Thakur. Had he not started a campaign against the Sahajyas, had he not started a campaign against all the different kinds of people whom now I'm going to describe, the upper sampradayas, it would have been very difficult to practice Krishna. We wouldn't have been dancing like this in front of TOVP if he wouldn't have taken that pain. So there was a Babaji called Charan Das Babaji. His philosophy was that when you chant personally in the room, you should chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. But when you go out in public, you should chant Nitai Gaur, Radhe Shyam, Jap Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. And he was a very influential person. He somehow had some great contacts and he was very successful in spreading this unauthorized mantra. And he was getting it printed, just like we have some prominent printing presses. So he was getting printed from that press only, which you are thinking in the mind. This Charan Das Babaji approached that famous printing press of India and he got this mantra printed and got distributed all over. So Bhaktivinod Thakur again took it as a personal thing. He went and met Charan Das Babaji and he requested him, discussed with him. And Charan Das Babaji was initially not listening. But then he told that if you don't stop spreading this unauthorized mantra, you will be destroyed. And then Charan Das Babaji Maharaj started seeing destruction in his life. So ultimately he came to his senses and he came at the lotus feet of Bhaktivinod Thakur admitting his fault. And then he became Charan Das Babaji, who was a very strong, influential person. He became one of the strongest preachers of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is how he used to preach, Bhaktivinod Thakur. And he was not afraid. He was a very bold person. In 1874, when he was in charge of the Puri temple administration, he discovered that the king of Puri had misappropriated 80,000 rupees. So he again took up the job of the sweeper of the Namhatta of Lord Nityananda. So Bhaktivinod Thakur forced the king to offer Lord Jagannath 52 meals a day in exchange of that 80,000 rupees. And in that way he got back all the money. Very quickly he got back all the money, which was actually belonging to Jagannath Mandir. The king, because of being influential, he had taken away Jagannath's property, 80,000 rupees. So Bhaktivinod Thakur, he was the administrator, head of the temple, and he made a rule that the king will offer 52 meals a day to Jagannath. And the king became very furious. So he began a 30-day tantric ritual with 50 pandits so that after performance of that yag, Bhaktivinod Thakur will die. And I think you have seen this in the Abhaycharan series also. What did Bhaktivinod Thakur do at that time? He just sat down with his divine son, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and he just continued reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And as a result of that, the head priest died, and the son of the king also died. And then the king came and surrendered to Bhaktivinod Thakur. So in this way, any non-Krishna conscious element which was coming and influencing the society away from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, he couldn't tolerate it and he would come and sweep them out. The transcendental sweeper of Lord Nityananda, Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur ki. So what is the lesson which we learn from these sweeping pastimes of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur? What is the lesson learned? Tell me.
Preach very boldly. Become Krishna.
Yes, some answers are coming. Become Krishna conscious. That is like you'll tell this answer for all the questions I will become Krishna conscious.
If we are also spreading Appa Sampradaya, we also spread
we will be, yes, if we are spreading Appa Sampradaya or starting our own Sampradaya, Bhaktivinod Thakur will come and sweep us out. Be sure of it. Very strictly following the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami, Rupa Nuga Varayate. We have to read the books of Srila Prabhupada very, very nicely, and we have to become very good at understanding what is Krishna consciousness and what is not Krishna consciousness. And we should not allow even a smallest tinge of non-Krishna consciousness or apasampradaya or some sahajya thing to come in ISKCON. This is the lesson which we learn from the life and teachings of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. He risked his life. If I tell my friend that 50 pandits who are like the sages of Kali Yuga, they are sitting on a 30-day tantric ritual and bringing a great pishach to kill, anybody will go crazy after hearing that. Those pandits, they are not wasting their time, they know what they are doing. But he didn't shake. What has to be done needs to be done at any cost. So he went on reading the Bhagavatam, he went on chanting Hare Krishna, and he was very strict. It doesn't matter what happens, what doesn't happen. And this reminds me of another pastime which he did. Anyways, moving on to the next section, which is Daitya Kulera Prahlad. It is a Bengali thing. Daitya means demon, Kulera means in the Kul, Prahlad. So the family where Bhaktivinod Thakur was born were not great devotees of Lord Krishna. In fact, they were very strong worshippers of Lord Shiva. Sorry? Yes. Yeah, I didn't even tell the name. Kedarnath Datta was the maiden name of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. And when he started writing about the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, all the great Vaishnava scholars of India, they proposed and gave him this name, Bhaktivinod Thakur. That is the greatness of our Acharya. So, he was born in a family, his name was Kedarnath Datta. He was born in Bir Nagar, Ulagram, in the district of Nadia, West Bengal. He was the seventh son of Krishna Nand Datta. But the problem was, he was born in a family of non-devotees. And Vaishnavism was not being practiced in his family. So when he was showing some symptoms of having attraction towards Lord Krishna, he was completely chastised, completely discouraged. In one place it is also mentioned that as a child, unlike his other brothers, all his other brothers were more beautiful than him also. So he was not very good looking as a small child. So his mother used to say, let him be the servant of his other brothers. So in that kind of a situation, he was always deprived and forced not to practice bhakti. But we all know that he succeeded in practicing Krishna consciousness. He not only succeeded, but he became an acharya of the entire universe, all the other universes. We should really learn from the life and pastimes of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. That Srila Prabhupada comments in his Srimad Bhagavatam that devotional service cannot be checked by any material circumstances. So when we see the pastimes of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur, we understand that yes, sometimes people say, Prabhu, it's not favorable, I'm not able to chant, my house is not favorable, my work is not favorable, my health is not favorable, nothing is favorable, I am also not favorable for my own self. But no material circumstances. A soul in an elephant body who didn't even utter the name Krishna, but just remembered the qualities of Krishna from his previous life and rendered pure devotional service. Then why can't we? We all have some challenges in our practice of Krishna consciousness. I also have, you also have. And we are all trying to overcome those challenges. And whenever we reach the point where we feel that, yes, I'm going to give up, we should remember Prahlad and Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Their life was not easy. Don't think that they fell down from some great Vishnu Viman and then they were said, oh, he's a divine child, let us send him to Gurukul and then let's give him Bhagavatam and let's give him... No. He was not given any text. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born in a very favorable family. Srila Prabhupada writes this, that Both our humble self and our spiritual master got this privilege of taking birth in Vaishnava families. He writes this in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, shloka number 41, where the 37 to 42 is the discussion how even a devotee progresses in their Krishna consciousness in various lives. So, what do we learn from this difficult life history of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur Prabhupada? What is the lesson learned? Daitya Kulera Prahlad. What do we learn from this? कुछ सीखे हम लोग? अच्छा लगा? हाँ? Be any situation, we should not give up in our Krishna consciousness. This is very, very important. It is not that Acharya's lives were very easy, Acharyas were gifted, they are coming, they are sent by Krishna, they are, representatives of some manjaris, they are personal associates of Krishna, so everything is easy for them. But I am a senior devotee from many, many lifetimes, so things for me is very difficult. We should not think like that. They have taken these roles just to show us that how to practice bhakti in difficult circumstances. They are Nitya Siddhas, no doubt. But they have acted not like Nitya Siddhas from the beginning of their life, just to show us that it is possible to become a Siddha. It is possible to become a pure devotee while chanting Hare Krishna and while practicing Krishna consciousness. In fact, from that perspective, if we see our Subandhu Prabhu will glorify Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, at the age of 5, he knew all the verses, 5 or 7, some between that, he knew all the verses of Bhagavad Gita. Now that is some great symptom. Bhaktivinod Thakur didn't show this symptom also. Sorry? At the age of 5? Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is that given whatever is the situation, we should not give up in our practice of Krishna consciousness. No matter what happens, we should take full inspiration from these acharyas. The next segment is Nana Shastra Vicharanaika Nipuno. When he was deprived of a Bhagavad Gita, when he was deprived of a Bhagavatam, what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur started doing in his young age was he started comparing the various philosophies of this world. He read great philosophers like Channing, Theodore Parker, Emerson, Newman, Aristotle. He started reading Christian philosophy, he started reading the Islam philosophy, and he started reading and comparing everything. This he started doing when he became an assistant of his uncle, who was running a printing press where he used to print a weekly magazine. So his uncle taught him the English language, and his uncle taught him two things, English language and mathematics, and then he recruited him as the assistant of the printing press. So there, when these things came for printing, he used to take one copy and start reading. He was fully engaged in work. He had no time. And somebody who is a manager of a printing press, we can ask them. They have no time. But he took out time to work in the printing press, but at the same time read those books also. Many of us, we complain that we are not getting time to read Srila Prabhupada books. We are very busy. We can't read more than 5 minutes. I'm sorry. But we should we should try to be inspired from our acharyas. So as he grew up, in those days people used to get married a little early. So as he grew up as a young householder, he was thinking, what profession should I take up? Everybody was suggesting him, get into business, get into this, get into that. But he said that, you know what, I have a holy mission in life. I have this spiritual inquiry. I want to continue this Brahma Jigyasa. So I think the role of a teacher will be very suitable for me. So he took up the job of a teacher, and by opening an English education school in the village of Kendrapada in Orissa. Kendrapada hai na ek jagah? Orissa. Okay. Now we hear that he was a district magistrate, but here we are hearing teacher. So it's a literal rags to riches story. He didn't give any public exam or anything like that. He just became a teacher, but seeing his focus and dedication, Immediately he was promoted to the headmaster of that school, and from the headmaster of that school he was taken into the school board of authorities in Bhadrak, and after that, like that, he was slowly pulled up, and promotion after promotion after promotion, recommendation after recommendation after recommendation, ended up becoming the district magistrate. How many of us can even believe this? From school teacher to district magistrate, and no entrance exam, just by sincere, serious work. But while he was, living his life, living his grihastha life, in fact, he's one of our acharyas who were rendering the job of an acharya while living a family life. So this credit Srila Prabhupada always gives. He always says that an acharya is an acharya, whether he is in the renounced ashram or whether he is in the family life. An acharya is an acharya. That means no material circumstances can check our Krishna consciousness and even the preaching activities. I'll give you a short glimpse of the kind of preaching which he has done in some time. So as he was progressing in his life, in his family life, he was seeing that how people were taking religion very cheaply, whether it is Hindus, whether it is Muslims, whether it is Christians. And then he understood that the only way in which we can revive true religion was through the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya. Until this point of time, he had not discovered the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in his life. Until this point of time. That is his Leela, we can say like that. So he, as he was progressing in his journey of life, he somehow got the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then he slowly got the Chaitanya Charitamrita, started reading it. And then in 1868 he became the deputy magistrate of the place called Dinajapur in West Bengal, which is the highest rank in the Indian government that could be held by an Indian person in the British rule. So you can well imagine he was really at the top, because uske upar jaane nahi deta hai kisi ko. So he started during that time when he became the district magistrate. During that time, he really got interest in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and it is mentioned that for nights together he used to just read Chaitanya Charitamrita, and his faith was increasing day by day. And then he became fully convinced that only Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can save this world. Only Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can make Hindus proper Hindus, Christians proper Christians, Muslims proper Muslims. And with this faith, he really wanted to do something for the Sankirtan movement. And how he came to this conclusion? He read everything. Nana Shastra Vicharaneko. He read everything. It is mentioned that after reading a book, he would walk left and right in the courtyard of his house, and he used to, just like a lawyer gives some arguments, he used to give arguments to himself. And then he used to counter-argue himself. So people who would see, they would feel that he's talking to some ghost. But actually he was talking to himself. He was just analyzing all the metaphysical and the physical and the devotional philosophies of the world. That's how he became such a strong Tattvavadi. That's why he became a strong Rupanuga. He just tried to understand, and then seeing his sincerity, Krishna blessed him with this Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Taste in reading Srimad Bhagavatam, taste in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked by one of his disciples that, Srila Prabhupada, you have written this book Beyond Illusion and Doubt. I mean, actually it's just a discussion, various discussions, where all the various philosophies of the world, Greek philosophy, this philosophy, that philosophy, Christian philosophy, is being discussed. And Srila Prabhupada is discussing with his disciples and presenting it. So one of the disciples asks that, Prabhupada, are all the other philosophers wrong? Are they not God conscious? So Srila Prabhupada gave an amazing answer, which I have not understood what it means till now, but I will just present it. Srila Prabhupada said, all these philosophers, their sincerity is their God consciousness. Don't ask me the meaning of it. But Srila Prabhupada answered this. So I see the same sincerity, we all see the same sincerity in Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. He was analyzing each and every philosophy. And then he sincerely studied it, analyzed it, digested it, and then ultimately came and surrendered to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And after that, he became a strong advocate of Lord Chaitanya. And he started writing articles about Lord Chaitanya, and he wanted to spread the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And after a few years, he started sending the copies to various universities of the world also. So therefore, what lesson we can derive from here is that we have to be a seeker of truth. We can't just give up. Few of us, life has been simple for us. We just landed up in ISKCON and we realized this is the greatest philosophy. But I know, I have from few friends who have actually, and I know, I think one of my friends, his father, he tells me the story of his father, that how he moved from one philosophy to another philosophy, from one organization to another organization. He was not satisfied. And then ultimately when he came to ISKCON, he surrendered. And today he is soul surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. So I really appreciate such people. We are lucky. Somehow some credit, Lord Chaitanya gave us कि आ जाओ तुमसे होने वाला नहीं. You just take this science of self-realization. But there are some sincere seekers. So even in the realm of Krishna consciousness, now that we have come to Krishna consciousness, we should always be sincerely seeking the truth. We should always be sincerely seeking how to get rid of our anarthas. We should always be sincerely seeking how to chant in such a way so that my mind doesn't wander. We should always be sincerely seeking how to reach that Nishtha platform. We should be sincerely seeking. Today morning, Prabhu was talking about the bubble which was there around Srila Prabhu. We should always be sincerely seeking for that. Where is the bubble? Where is the bubble? Where can I sit with some devotee and experience what they are experiencing? How can I, when I see these senior devotees, they are so much absorbed in Krishna consciousness. What can I do so that I can get, somehow I want to feel that once. And how can I not just go back and sleep? I should remember that and hanker for it and seek for it. So sincere seekers on the path of bhakti, they become pure devotees. This is the difference between practicing devotees and pure devotees. Practicing devotees, they stop seeking after some time. They are satisfied. Bahut hua. 16 mala kar lete hain, it's enough. But sincere seekers who really want to attain the saffron dust particles of Lord Krishna, they don't, they are satisfied in their material life, but in their spiritual life, they are completely unsatisfied. And they go on seeking and seeking and seeking. And for that, they have to be expert philosophers. They have to be uttam adhikaris. A person who reads all the books of Srila Prabhupada is an uttam adhikari. Because not only he can save himself from the demands of his mind, but he can also defend the philosophy of Krishna consciousness because he's well read. There have been instances, especially book distributors will understand this very easily, where some people come and they attack our philosophy. क्या कर रहा है? गोरख धंधा बना दिया है. सड़क पर बेच रहे हो. This, once one Christian told me that, see, Jesus Christ has told that all human beings are fallen. And Krishna's parents were human beings. So therefore he's also human being. So he's also fallen. So I don't want to read about him. So until unless you have read the books properly, how will you defend such philosophies? So Bhaktivinod Thakur teaches us that read, become uttam adhikaris and defend Krishna consciousness everywhere. And I'd like to end the session with some action. How many of you want to hear some action? So let's hear some action. This is the exhibition of his Bhakti Shakti. Many of us feel that strength means money, strength means guns, strength means, what else means strength? Position, manpower. This woman power is real strength, actually. Trust me. Any other strength? How do you show that you are really strong? Knowledge, yes. But the greatest Shakti in the whole creation, manifested and unmanifested, is bhakti. And imagine if we have someone in front of us who is exhibiting it, how much more will our faith come in Krishna consciousness? We are, at least I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about myself. I am a fallen conditioned soul. Sometimes I really need to see some chamatkar also. Bhakti Shakti. When I hear the story of Prabhupada, that is the exhibition of the Shakti of Bhakti. Bhakti is so powerful. Bhakti can help me. Srila Prabhupada was asked that how did you write 87 books and open 108 temples? He just put his hand in the Japmala and he said, Hare Krishna. So he exhibited Bhakti Shakti, that you chant Hare Krishna and then you can also do the impossible. So let's hear some of the impossible things which Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur has done. So there was a place called Champarana. So he has gone to all parts of India in his service to the British government. So once he was posted in Champarana, and when he was the district magistrate, some people brought a case to him, and he said that you have to be very careful, So in Champarana village, there is a ghost who lives on a banyan tree. The speciality of that ghost is that if you have a case going on, and if you give some offerings to that ghost, then that ghost influences the mind of the judge. And that judge gives the decision in your favor. so as soon as Bhaktivinod Thakur came into power, he said, what is this? People are worshipping ghosts now? So he demonstrated Bhakti Shakti. He called one local villager who was a sincere student of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he said that you just sit under that banyan tree for 7 days and read Srimad Bhagavatam. Just go on reading, and then we'll see. So that person, putting faith in the words of the district magistrate, he just started reading Srimad Bhagavatam under that banyan tree, and after that, that banyan tree got uprooted and fell down. So I was thinking, Bhaktivinod Thakur is not just the deliverer of human beings, but he is the deliverer of ghosts and pishachas also. If somebody does this in front of you, will your faith not in Krishna consciousness become so strong? This is Bhakti Shakti. Another, this I think many people know, 1873, near a place called Kamanala, there was a mystic yogi, not yogi, but a mystic tantric called Bisha Kishena. How many of you have heard Bisha Kishena? So his speciality was that he would do yagya, fire sacrifice, and he would move like this, and he would put his head in the fire. People would see it burning, and then he would come up, sit erect, and his head is not burnt. And again he will go down, keep for 2 minutes, and then again come out. Head is not burnt. So by doing this, he was able to generate fire from his head also. People could see all these mystical things happening. He had 2 associates. The names of those associates were Brahma and Shiva. And he used to call himself as Mahavishnu. Okay, Bisha Kishena. And as usual, he started making all those nonsense demands. He started asking for people's wives and ladies, and he started asking for money, and he started an anti-British campaign. Sometimes these demons, they do something very political because of which they get a lot of support also. He started doing an anti-British campaign where he said that I will remove the Britishers from the land of Jagannath first, and then, he didn't say Jagannath, he said Puri. First I will remove the Orissa. First I will remove the Britishers from the land of Orissa, which is my birthplace. And then later on I will throw them out of India also. Just cooperate with me. Somebody said, "तुम मुझे खून दो, मैं तुम्हें आज़ादी दूंगा." This fellow said something else. "तुम मुझे कुछ और दो, मैं तुमको आज़ादी दूंगा." So Bisha Kishena, he got printed. Again, these people, they used to like printing. I don't know how. Everybody was getting things printed, and their manifesto was being circulated everywhere. So this reached the Viceroy of India also. And then he contacted, because everybody was very much in high regard of Kedarnath Datta, that is our Bhaktivinod Thakur. And he told him that why don't you look into this situation? It looks like a conspiracy theory against the British rule. So he went to that place, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then he talked with the yogi. The yogi had some powers by which he could understand what one person is thinking. These days also we have some people, they give Ashirwad very nicely. They will tell you what problem you have, and they will give Ashirwad. So these things are not new. They are always existing. So he went, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur went to meet him, he said, "Oh, Kedarnath, aye, we'll meet you." And then he started saying, "I know who you are, I know why you have come, but because I am Mahavishnu, you should not interfere in my plans." So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, being a humble person, he was appreciating this. He has nice yogic and tantric siddhis. He's able to do some work, get some work done. He said, "Very nice, continue. Why don't you come to Jagannath Puri and take darshan of Jagannath?" Everything was moving fine. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was thinking, "I'll go away." But then Bishakishen, by the inspiration of the Paramatma, Sarvasya Chaham Hrinisannirishto, by the inspiration of Paramatma, he said, "Why should I come to see Jagannath? He's just a piece of wood. I am the Supreme Person. Jagannath should come to see me." He said like this in front of Bhaktivinoda. Game over. After that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur was so angry that he took, on the spot, he took him in custody. And he started an 18-day trial against him. He said that this case will run for 18 days. And this person, on the first day when the case against Bishakishen was going on, at least 10,000 people were outside the court trying to break the wall and get inside the door. His own daughter, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's daughter, fell so terribly sick that no doctor said that she'll be staying alive. You know what Bhaktivinoda Thakur said? "Yes, let us all die, but then this offender against Jagannath should be punished." Huh? On the 18th day. On the 18th day of the final judgment, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also was so seriously ill that he was not able to function his body. Everybody was saying that you please make settlement with this Bishakishen. He is controlling your family, he is controlling everybody's health. He will destroy you. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, "Let me die, but I will not let this offender of Jagannath stay here anymore." Somehow, he gave the judgment and then he was taken into custody, this Bishakishen. And the medical officer of the district gave a recommendation that, see, in jail we like to have some little clean people. First shave off the beard and the hair of this Bishakishen. So it seems such kind of tantrics, they have their power in their hair and their beard. So when that was shaved, this tantric, this so-called Mahavishnu, this avatar of the Lord, couldn't do anything after that. And then he somehow requested one of his followers to bring little poison, and this avatar of Vishnu committed suicide in the jail. So these are some of the ways in which Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur displayed his bhakti shakti. See, we are laughing at these incidents, but these are serious things. These are very serious things. We are saying we are chanting Hare Krishna, but let's say somebody does some serious tantric ritual on you and tells you that you have to stop chanting Hare Krishna now. And you are seeing that your hand is bleeding, leg is bleeding, your nose is bleeding, your whole body is shivering. How many of us have that conviction to continue in Krishna consciousness? We will give our japmala to that ghost. Le jao yaar. Just give me good health. And see, if it is on you, you may be able to tolerate. But what about your daughter? If she's dying in front of you just because you have messed up with one stupid person, you would rather say, "ठीक है, you stay happy, I'll stay happy. Let's मामला रफा दफा करते हैं, out of court settlement करते हैं, खत्म करते हैं." But Bhaktivinoda Thakur was ready to let himself die, let his whole family die, but he could not tolerate anything against Lord Krishna or Lord Jagannath. And because he had that conviction, Krishna empowered him and he could show the Shakti of Bhakti. So what lesson do we derive from this? We should be very fearless and determined in serving Lord Krishna. Just like the book distributors of Srila Prabhupada or the Sankirtan students of Srila Prabhupada. They were doing Sankirtan in Melbourne again and again putting in jail, or those people whose brain was being deprogrammed and all, they never gave up Krishna consciousness. They were strict. They were ready to die, but they are not ready to give up Krishna consciousness. So we need to have that missionary spirit. These people are called missionaries. A person who is ready to die for the teachings of Bhagavad Gita is called as a missionary person. For the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, okay? We should not construe some meaning out of Bhagavad Gita and die for it. There are some people who construe some wrong meaning of their religious scriptures and die for it. We are not in that category. For the teachings of Srila Prabhupada, we are ready to die. So this is the lesson which we derive. Today, Bhaktivinod Thakur is a great Acharya because he showed the spirit of a soldier. He could tolerate all nonsense, but one wrong thing against Jagannath, you are finished. That should be our attitude. We should tolerate any disrespect towards ourselves, we should tolerate any misbehavior towards ourselves, but if somebody speaks anything against Krishna or a devotee of Krishna, we will not tolerate. This is the lesson which we learn from this. So I'll stop here today. Tomorrow we will see some more aspects of the great divine character of Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any comments, questions? Yes.
A friend of mine, he thinks that Lord Rama has a body of human flesh, blood. And
Yes.
so I heard, and then I ignored him, and you are saying that we should not tolerate this. So what should have done?
Yes, the question is, there is a friend of mine who thinks that the incarnations of the Lord, they are human beings. They have human flesh, human bone marrow, human bone, human blood, B positive, A positive, all that. So this, what we heard in the class is that if we hear some disrespect, we should not tolerate. Earlier, this friend of mine was ignoring it. But he has heard in the class that we should not tolerate. So what should we do? Yes. In this case, what should be done is, first try to understand if that person is an envious person. Is he simply envious against the Lord? If yes, leave him aside. But if you see some scope, maybe he is misinformed. Maybe he has read these books which these latest Indian authors are writing. This trilogy, that trilogy. So if he is an innocent person, if there is some scope for him to be preached, you try to open the Bhagavad Gita in front of him and explain how Krishna comes, how the Supreme Personality of Godhead comes. Sambhavami Atma Maya. Explain, read that purport with him. And if we are not able to fully convince him, bring him to our seniors. They will convince. In that way, we can help him. Take inspiration from Bhaktivinod Thakur. He went to Bankim Chatterjee, and without eating or drinking for 4 days, he just explained him about Krishna. We can at least take a 4-hour break and try to discuss. No? Let's try to do it in a very civilized way. Let's not hold his neck to my kaise bola Jai Shri Ram. Not like that. We should try to discuss in a civilized. Our discussion should be based on Shastra. See, generally when such people who speak, they don't give any references. When you speak, you give references. And if he is an intelligent person, he will understand. If he is an unbiased person, he will accept. If he is envious, then just leave him. Because to envious people, only Mahabhagavats like Prabhupada can teach. So we should not waste our time with envious people. If he is not envious, and if he is ready to listen to logic and reasoning, then we can try to preach to him. But definitely, we should not accept. We should not accept what he is saying. I once fought with my boss, He was sitting with me and having lunch, and he was telling me, what is this chapter 17, shloka number 8, 9, and 10? Food in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, no onion, garlic, and no meat and all. No, we should eat everything. This Bhagavad Gita, I don't take this Krishna's teachings. So I fought with him. I was thinking I'll lose my job. But we didn't tolerate that. And because I was so strict about the teachings of Lord Krishna, later on he appreciated also. That yes, what you're telling is correct. We are just seeking some excuse to eat things. But what Bhagavad Gita is telling is correct. So those who are reasonable, genuine people, they will accept it. Those who are envious, just we'll forget them and leave them. But in all circumstances, we should take a note that here is a person who's speaking something wrong about Krishna. We have to do something, if we can do that. Okay? One last question. Somebody was raising their hand. Yes? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Mike, idea?
Bhaktivinod. He was a cleaner of. So you told about Asampradaya and another Jivika or something.
Yes.
What is the meaning of those two terms?
Okay. What is the meaning of asampradaya, apasampradaya and sahajiyas? They're all brothers and sisters only. Apasampradaya means when somebody starts their own sampradaya. When somebody is not, for example, an acharya, one of the qualities or one of the requirements of being an acharya is that you should be fully in agreement with the previous acharya. All acharyas, they are devotees of Krishna and they do not disrespect or they do not disprove the teachings. Unlike the scientists, every scientist will always disprove the previous scientist, but acharya business is not like that. So when somebody doesn't do that, when somebody misconstrues the message of the acharya and for his own personal benefit tries to start something new, kuch to naya karenge. People of Bangalore should be able to understand this very nicely. So that is called apasampradaya. When you break the sampradaya connection, evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo, when you break that and you put yourself in the center, that is called apasampradaya. Basically, a more easy way to understand, I heard in the lecture, when you start thinking that you are the cause of everything, there is a very great chance that you will start a sampradaya of your own. When the lion is hunting a deer in the jungle, sometimes a bee or a fly is sitting on the mustache of the lion. And when the lion is killing the deer or the elephant, some splashes of blood will go on the fly also. And if the fly starts thinking that I have killed the deer, and that is the beginning of a new sampradaya. So that is called as apasampradaya. So there are some idiots who start their own sampradaya. They disconnect or they misunderstand or they misrepresent the original teachings of Srila Prabhupada for their own purposes, agendas. हिंदी में बोलते हैं अपना उल्लू सीधा करने के लिए उन्होंने कुछ भी समझा दिया किसी को. So that is apasampradaya. That which is not having the original intention of Bhagavad Gita. For example, there are some Gitas called My Gita, Living Gita. You get these kind of books. These are all apasampradayas. Let's be open about it. Let's be open about it. If somebody wants to have a discussion, we can have a discussion. But these are all apasampradayas. And sahajiyas means they are those category of people who claim to have love of God, but they are doing all sorts of nonsense things in the background. Love of God means a person is doing things only for the pleasure of Krishna and exclusively for the pleasure of Krishna and is not doing anything which is not for the pleasure of Krishna. But if somebody is claiming that I have bhava, I have prema, and at the same time in the backyard they are doing all sorts of nonsense things, I'm talking about myself, okay? So such category of people are called as sahajiyas because they make Krishna consciousness very cheap. They will say you can chant Hare Krishna also and you can eat chicken also. You have to understand this point. They don't have any love for God, but they will act as if they are great lovers of God. They will say we love God, we are bhaktas, we are devotees. But if you see their dining table, you will realize that they don't love a small animal also. These are sahajiyas. So there are many kinds of sahajiyas. The top class sahajiyas are those kind of sahajiyas who cry during kirtan and show ashta sattvic vikas. They faint in kirtan. But once they are getting paid for that ashta prahari, after that they eat chicken, fish, drink bidi and all those things. So that is sahajiya. I hope I have answered your question. Okay. No, we cannot take any more questions. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,